Hello, I'd like to show you how to make this cute little envelope and matching card using a couple of our Sizzlix dies for our Big Shot, as well as some of our designer series paper, the Razzleberry Lemonade, along with several in colors. The Stamp It Up die that I'll be using is the scalped envelope. It's a regular Big's die. And I will also be using part of a Sizzlix 4-pack of dies, the little bird that comes with the birds in blooms. For the envelope, I'm going to start with a piece of Melon Mambo. This is the textured cardstock. It is 5.5 by 4.5. I'm also going to be using the designer series paper from the Razzleberry Lemonade. This is 3.5 by 3.5 square. Okay, I'm going to start making my sandwich for the scalloped envelope. I'm going to put my texture side down, completely covering all of the envelope. Complete my sandwich with the standard cutting board. Push it through. Let's start cranking. Then I have the first part of the envelope. Now I'm going to use the designer series paper and do the top part of the envelope and then the main body. So I'm going to do this scalloped part here and then the main body. I want my stripes to go across, so they're going to go across that pattern. Okay, make sure you get it all the way up to the top and just a little bit into that crease below. Okay, and then make your sandwich with the other cutting board. Through to get it started. And there you go, you have the top part. Okay, I'm going to use a pair of scissors and I'm going to trim right inside the score lines because I want this to be just a little bit smaller than the envelope is, so it'll fit nicely within inside the envelope. Okay, with my envelope, my red envelope in hand, my melon envelope, I'm going to fold along the score lines. So that's how it's going to line up. I'm going to use a little bit of the multi-purpose Tum Tum adhesive to make sure that it gets a nice good coverage and it doesn't move on me. Press that down real good. Okay, now we want to put a little bit of glue right along this inside center flap. And now you have your envelope. To make the card, I'm going to start with a piece of rich razzleberry, 3 inches by 4 inches, and I'm going to fold that in half longwise. I've got a piece of Whisper White cardstock, 1 3/4 by 1 inches. I'm going to use just a little bit of tape and line it up on my grid paper so that it doesn't move. And then use my Stamp-A-Majig and a stamp from the Teeny Weeny Wishes stamp set. It's a nice little versatile stamp set with lots of titles all about the same size. So you can make your cards and stamp your titles as you need them. I'm going to put this in the center along the bottom, maybe 1/4 inch up or so. To get the white cardstock off my mat, I'm just going to twist it off right there. Next I'm going to take a piece of pumpkin pie, 1 3/4 by 1 3/4 inch square. Using the background as a little template, I'm going to line up the pieces and fit them together. I'm going to put a little adhesive on the back of the mellow. I'm going to line up the thank you across the bottom, using even spaces around the side. And I'm going to overlay the pumpkin pie just where I would want it. Using my grid paper, I'm going to put the melon mambo just over top of both of them, using my graph paper to line them up on both sides. So I'm using my graph paper to line up the Mellow Mambo, and I'm taping basically onto the orange pumpkin pie and the white so that I get one new piece. And then I'm going to use Stampin' Dimensionals. Then I'm going to reapply it to the card, right down the center. And now we have the base of the card. For the bird, I'm going to use a piece of crushed curry textured cardstock, 1 inch by 2 inches, and a piece of the designer paper, 2 inches by 1.5 inches. This is the die that I'm using for the bird. The designer paper I'm using on the bird part, and the textured paper I'm going to put across the wings. We're going to start with the multi-purpose platform, and then we'll have a cutting pad, the Sizzlet, the paper, and the cutting pad again. Platform down, and then I'm going to put my cutting pad down, and then my die. I'm going to do this one at a time. First I'm going to do the wings. Put my top part of my sandwich on. Push it through to get it started. And hold it down. Now we've got the 2 wings. Now we're going to do the bird. And now we have the bird. To assemble the bird, I'm going to use some of the TomTom multi-purpose adhesive. I'm going to adhesive one of the wings onto the back of the bird. And then the front wing, I'm going to fold the tab back so that it's more 3D. I'm going to put some glue on the tab. I'm going to put the second wing on. There's the bird. You can see it a little bit better. Okay, now I'm going to use 2 Stampin' Dimensionals on the back of the bird, one towards the front. Then I'm going to put the bird just down into the melon mamba, just a little bit. And there you go. You have a nice little card that fits inside of the envelope. Or you can go like that too.